Happy Sunday everyone. So we're here to go through the top tips for decorating your wedding venue. So top tip number one is get inspired. So the really exciting part is where you sit down and you start looking at pictures on the internet of how you're going to dress your venue. This is a real key point, is to become inspired about what you like. Now, it doesn't matter how long you take doing this, because at the end the result will be so much better than just picking, random bits and not thinking it through. So collate as much information as you can, and normally the first point of call, obviously these days, would be the internet. So just go on the internet and obviously pick out all your favourite pieces that you like. The key thing to this is put them in a file on the computer and save all your pictures, or cut the pictures out if you've seen them in magazines, but keep them so you know what you've seen and what you really like, because there's nothing worse than trying to find that picture again, because you never do. So take your time and pick out everything that you'd like. So find all the inspiration. Now, when you've collated all the pictures that you like, so obviously you're going to get pictures of, maybe ceremonial arches and, draping for your chairs, flowers for your ceremony table, and, ideas for the actual aisle, whether it will be flowers or lanterns or, anything kind of hanging off the side, or ribbon or draping. So when you do get all of these ideas and, maybe decoration for your centerpieces, save them and put the headings under there. This is for the ceremony, and this is for the dinner reception and the cocktail reception, and put all the pictures together. So you're now creating your own mood board, really, which is what the professionals will create for you. So once you've created this, you can then see, and this is the key point of getting the inspiration, you will then see what blends together and what doesn't necessarily. So the key thing here is the colours that you've chosen, and also the style. So you may have chosen a boho style, but there's some vintage elements in there, in which case, certain the two styles will go together, but you have to be very careful in not creating two different styles completely. You'll need to blend them, little tweaks here and little tweaks there. So, but when you create your mood board from all the inspiration that you've taken from the internet or bridal magazines, or other people's weddings, for example, it will stand out to you what really gels together and what doesn't. Now, one of my top tips, if you haven't got a particularly good eye for the decor side of it, one of the top tips is to look at hiring a professional for this, and I'll get to that later on in the video. So you have your pictures all in hand. The next top tip is to decide whether you want to have fresh flowers for decorating your venue, or do you want to go for artificial flowers. Now, there's obviously bonuses to each. Bonuses going for fresh flowers is they look beautiful, they smell amazing. Downside to fresh flowers is they are slightly more costly. Obviously, bonuses to artificial flowers is they will last a lot longer, obviously, and the price is slightly cheaper. Now, depending on what your preference is, really, for me, my preference would be always fresh, because they look amazing and they smell amazing, and it's a lot more luxurious for your wedding day. But obviously, if, for example, you're getting married in a hot country, fresh flowers won't necessarily last that long, but then if you are getting married abroad, you won't need them to last that long. So it really is down to you, and it really is what your preference will be. but obviously for me, fresh is always best. Okay, so the next hot tip is try not to go overboard. Now, I know it's really difficult because when you open up the decor brochures or you see ideas on the internet, you want everything because you just want your day to be amazing. Now, what I will say is, this is now think back to the venue that you're hiring for your wedding day, and really you don't want to overdress it because it will take elements away from the venue, and you've chosen the venue because you've fallen in love with it and it's the perfect venue for you. So when you are decorating it, try not to go overboard and choose too much, because one, it will cost you a lot more, and secondly, you're taking away the natural beauty from that venue. Now, depending on what venue you've chosen, some venues will need a little bit more decor because they might be slightly bigger and you need to fill the room. Or, you know, the venue might have beautiful gardens, beautiful flowers, in which case the more decoration you have, you're going to detract away from that element. So just think carefully, and I guess this is where your budget comes in, because everyone will have a set budget when it comes to decorating your venue. So just, you know, the key elements would be obviously dressing your chairs with drapes or organza ties, which instantly bring your colour theme into it. Obviously, if you require a ceremonial arch, if there isn't a ceremonial point at your venue, then I would highly recommend a ceremonial arch. And then obviously for your dinner reception, 100% you would want to decorate the table, so you would need centerpieces. So as a bare minimum, that's kind of the list that I would say as a bare minimum, and then anything else added to that is purely down to your preference. But try not to overdress and try not to go overboard, because you will take elements away from the venue and you've fallen in love with the venue. So don't go overboard. Okay, this is probably the most important one of the top tips, is when you're choosing your decoration, you need a table plan already completed, because you need to get an idea of the numbers of how many table centerpieces, how many runners, how many chair sashes, ideally where you would like everything placed. So you'll basically have a, you know, like a bird's eye view of what your venue's going to look like and where you would like everything placed. It's a really important one. Now, you can obviously design it on a computer or you can handwrite it. It's really up to you. At this point, I will say, if you've booked a wedding planner, the wedding planner will have the table plan layout for you, and then you can just decide on what you would like. And obviously use the wedding planner's knowledge of the venue as well, and they can guide you through what looks really lovely and what doesn't. So definitely one of the most important, top tip number 4, is to have your table plan ready. The final top tip number 5. Hire, if you can, hire the professionals. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I say this. First of all, if you have to decorate the venue on the wedding morning, it's going to put you under a lot of stress, and obviously you're not going to do it on your own because everyone's going to want to help you. So it's going to put all your guests under a lot of stress. So, you know, it's going to, if you've got your mum and dad helping you and your sister and, you know, cousins and bridesmaids, it's just going to put everybody under a lot of stress. Although it's a lovely thing to do to decorate your venue, and obviously it is dependent on your budget. I completely understand that. But if you can make a little bit of room in there, hire the professional venue decorators. Now, whether it will be a florist and venue styler, or whether it will be a decoration company that's on the internet, or, you know, if, for example, the wedding planner, they will have the decoration companies on hand and on their books already. So Definite top tip number 5, don't put stress and strain and worry and pressure on you and your party. 100% hire the professionals if your budget allows it.